Warwickshire just about kept themselves in their LV County Championship match with Somerset after they made a good start in their aim to reach an improbable 515 to beat the Taunton side, for whom Nick Compton scored 100 on the penultimate day. Somerset, remember, had turned down the chance to enforce a follow-on on day 2, and so when night watchman Jack Leach was LBW to Chris Wright in the day's second over, they were on 50 for 2, 298 runs ahead. Having decided to bat a second time with such a big advantage, Somerset didn't want to waste any time, and the in-form Alvaro Peterson certainly didn't do that. He again played some terrific shots, adding to that early 6 with some crunching boundary 4s. Somerset would have planned a time to declare and would no doubt have had a score in mind that they would like to set their opponents. Whatever that was, this was a good start. Peterson was at the crease for an hour, in which he raced to 43, falling when he was trapped in front by Chris Wokes, with his side on 118 for 3 and 356 runs to the good. Compton was batting steadily, using this opportunity to make his first really big contribution of the season. He's impressed in front of Sky's TV cameras. He did lose James Hildreth at the other end though on 5, Wokes winning another leg before decision. Compton, however, was nearing his second 50 of the match with some classy shots. And he got there with this single off Jitan Patel, which was the 91st ball that he'd faced. He struck 5 4s in that and would now have wanted to kick on. And kick on is just what Somerset did, with Craig Keyswetter playing some shots from the moment that he walked to the crease. This was the pick of those shots, a wonderful pick-up of Oliver Hannon-Dolby, which went for 6 and was caught in the crowd by someone who didn't even bother to get off his backside. Warwickshire's highest ever fourth innings total is 425, made 10 years ago, in a game they still lost by 135 runs, and they now needed to get more than that. Their highest ever chase to win was 417 back in 1983. This pair were going for their guns now, and Keyswetter moved on to a neat half-century, which had been made from 80 balls and included 4 4s and that earlier 6. And he now added another to that by driving Patel back over his head, as this game started to resemble a one-day match. Compton went to a rather easy ton with a 6 as well. This time last year, the England man was doing this kind of thing almost every knock. His career has certainly changed path since then, and he does nowadays look a very classy player. His 100 had required 156 balls and contained 9 4s and that 6. He ended on 105, with Keyswetter on 59. That's because Somerset declared, giving Warwickshire about 4.5 sessions to bat, 143 overs in total. Their director of cricket, Dougie Brown, had suggested on the previous day that his side would be happy to chase down anything, but 515 did seem a lot. That was now the target after the Somerset declaration on 266 for 4. Indeed, only one team in the history of this game has scored that many to win. The pitch was still playing well though, and Will Porterfield and Varun Chopra made a good start just to kick-start the innings. They would have been aware that this target was in the record-breaking category, but as they say, records are there to be broken, and against what is mostly a very inexperienced attack, Warwickshire wouldn't have given up the ghost yet. Chopra, who's previously scored a double 100 at this ground, now got to his 50 here, dealing mostly in boundaries. Indeed, that was his 10th in the 74 balls he'd faced up to this point. Really, Warwickshire could not have made a better start. Another Chopra boundary now brought the team 100 up, and there had been little sign of Somerset getting a wicket. But the home side's patience was rewarded when Leach struck in the 30th over. Porterfield on 36, sharply taken by Joss Butler at a well-placed short leg to end the opening partnership on 108, although the batsman was surprised by the decision. That wicket naturally pumped Somerset up, and Jamie Overton gave Jim Troughton something to think about on his arrival to the crease. But the visiting skipper soon bedded in and added 30 more runs with Chopra in the next 12 overs. As the end of the day approached, Warwickshire would have been pleased with their efforts, but with 6 overs to go, Troughton on 17 picked the wrong ball to pad up to and was LBW. And then next ball, night watchman Atiq Javid was well grasped by Hildreth at Silly Point. The umpires conferred before the finger was raised. Laurie Evans then had to come out, and he and Chopra survived the remainder of the day, with Chopra closing in on an authoritative 81. His innings is now the crucial one. Warwickshire head into the last day on 144 for 3, still needing 371 more runs to win. It has been done at this ground on the last day before in recent years. Just ask Yorkshire.